A simple ritual became a lifeline for me, grounding me, protecting me, and anchoring my energy when everything felt chaotic. And I was in a place where my nervous system really couldn't take another blow. It's now a pillar in my energy alchemy tool chest. And today, I want to share how an ancient salt ritual changed my spiritual journey. If you've been carrying heaviness or feeling mentally or spiritually clouded, this might be a turning point in your path, or just a friendly reminder to get back to basics. Join me as we explore salt's historical spiritual significance, how it evolved into a modern spiritualist tool, and how it became a foundational part of my own practice, including a personal story from my own journey and a demonstration of how I use it today. If this resonates, I'm Kaththea. Welcome to my channel, Ascended Spirit Amplifiers. Let's get started. Salt has been used in spiritual practice for thousands of years, not just as a symbol, but as a tool. Salt was and is used as a purifier, a protector, and can be used as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Across time and cultures, salt has carried the power to cleanse, preserve, and protect. In ancient Egypt, salt was sacred, used in mummification to purify and preserve the body for the journey into the afterlife. In ancient Japan, Shinto priests would scatter salt to purify sacred spaces and carry this practice through to modern day. The ancient Greeks offered salt to their gods as a symbol of wisdom and purity. In Rome, salt marked the boundaries of new settlements as a way to consecrate space and invite prosperity. Salt was also part of the sacrificium, as offerings to the gods to consecrate and to protect. In Mesopotamia, it was seen as a gift from the gods themselves, used in offerings and even as currency. That's where the phrase "worth your salt" comes from. In Hindu traditions, salt still cleanses altars and thresholds, keeping sacred spaces clear of negativity to present day. In African traditions, salt is used in ritual baths to remove spiritual heaviness and restore clarity. And in hoodoo and folk magic, saltwater foot baths were, and still are, a way to cleanse the path beneath you. So when I talk about salt, I'm not talking about superstition. I'm talking about a mineral that's been trusted for thousands of years to hold light, to hold intention, and to hold protection. I didn't start using salt because I read about it. I had recently stepped into a spiritual awakening, and I was guided to it. One night, some might call it an especially dark night of my awakening, I felt under attack. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically. It was intense enough that I cried out to my spirit team, and boy did they answer. I closed my tear-stained eyes, and I saw my feet lowering in a bowl of water. Not metaphorical, just a crystal clear vision of my feet in a bowl of water. It was so clear that it startled me out of the mental cage I had placed myself in at that moment. Spirit was showing me a way out, a way to ground, to cleanse, and to come back to myself. Honestly, it was the most practical spiritual advice I've ever received. Literally, get grounded. I'm not the one who is always quick to follow directions, but that one definitely hit different. That's where this ritual began for me. Not from a book, not from a trend, but from a moment of surrender and guidance. Salt became my way to reconnect to my higher self, to clear stagnant or negative energy, and to inevitably rise again, stronger and much clearer than before. I know I'm not the first to even introduce this topic to you, I'm sure. Ritual bathing has been part of spiritual practice for millennia. In ancient Judaic tradition, the mikvah, a ritual bath, was used for purification before prayer, marriage, or sacred acts. In African spiritual systems, ritual baths are used to remove spiritual heaviness, to restore clarity, and to call back the soul. In Hindu practice, bathing in sacred rivers is a way to dissolve karma and begin anew. And in Hoodoo, saltwater foot baths are still used to cleanse the path beneath you, to remove what clings, what clouds, and what blocks. In Christianity, baptism began not as full immersion, but as a foot cleanse, a symbolic washing of the path before stepping into divine purpose. John the Baptist didn't just dunk, he prepared the way. Jesus himself washed the feet of his disciples, showing that cleansing is not just physical, it's spiritual humility. So when I sit meditating with my feet in salt water, I'm not just grounding, I'm aligning with thousands of years of spiritual wisdom. I'm stepping into a lineage of cleansing, of clarity, and of return. This is the ritual. This is the reset. And next I want to show you how I do it step by step. Before we begin, I want to remind you of something important. Meditation and rituals are deeply personal practices. There is no one right way to do this. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and always follow what feels right for you. This is your space, your energy, your present moment. Step 1. Prepare your environment. Create a space that feels safe and intentional. Dim the lights, light a candle, burn sage or incense if that's part of your practice. Make sure you can sit comfortably and remain undisturbed for several minutes. Step 2. Prepare your vessel. Choose a bowl or basin large enough for both feet with enough depth for the water to rise past your ankles. Fill it with water at a temperature that supports you. I prefer warm because it relaxes the body and opens the energy channels. Step 3. Relax and invite support. Settle into your space. Relax your body. Invite in your spirit team, your ancestors, and any guides you work with to help guide and protect your ritual. Take several deep cleansing breaths and feel the energy begin to shift around you. When you're ready, add about 2 tablespoons of salt into the water. You can also add essential oils or botanicals. What you're seeing here are my salt amplifiers. Special blends I'll be teaching you to make in upcoming videos to support different energetic needs. And yes, you already know what I'm going to say. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss those. Step 4. Begin the ritual. Slowly lower your feet into the water. Let your breath move through you, up the spine, down the legs. Feel the energy flow into the water, cleansing, and that energy returning to you and back up again. Allow the salt to draw out heaviness, stagnation, and any energy that doesn't belong to you. Offer gratitude for your body, for your spirit, for the simple fact that you showed up for yourself today and how far you've come in your journey. Gratitude for the abundance that is clearly surrounding you. Let this moment remind you that you are allowed to release, to soften, to return to your center. You are allowed to feel supported. You are allowed to feel held. Stay in this space for as long as necessary. If it resonates, you can speak an affirmation or release statement, such as, I release all negativity, all attachments, and all energy that is not mine. I return to myself fully and return to sender any negativity that I did not earn. Step 5. Your personal closing. When you feel complete, thank your guides, your ancestors, and your own spirit for their protection, their presence, and their grace. Step 6. Dry and ground. Remove your feet from the water and dry them with a clean towel. Take a moment to notice how you feel. The clarity, the lightness, the shift. Step 7. Dispose of the water. Pour the water down the toilet or outside onto the earth. This salt and water has done its job. It's now holding what you've released. All you have to do now is let it go. Thanks for watching. If something in this video resonated with you, honoring that with a like helps this work find the people who are meant to see it. And I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. It's always beautiful to see how these messages land for different people. And by all means, share it with anyone you think might benefit. If you want to keep exploring with me, make sure you're subscribed. I share new videos every week, and each one builds on this journey in its own way. Please never forget, my intent is your ascent. See you next time.